So I want to leave the floor now to René Becker. This is a very important experience for us. It's Terra that allowed the creation of 110 farms in France where it wouldn't have been possible otherwise, so collecting funds. This is what Mrs. Vecchi said before. Funds were collected for an operation, giving a land to someone who wanted to farm it. So this is a very interesting and dear experience. Thank you very much.
En italien, maintenant il va faire du français en italien.
Ringrazio innanzitutto l'interprete.
First of all, I want to thank the interpreter who interpreted before from English and now German, and now we'll be interpreting from French. In a few minutes, I want to present you an initiative that has been very positive, a French initiative. It's called Terre, and it's been launched by the civil society. While I will be talking in 15 minutes, at least one farm will be disappearing. Every day, in Europe, there are in between 100 and 120 farms disappearing. We shall not despair in front of this situation. We decided to face the situation. We ask ourselves, how can we act together in order to protect our land? I've been one of the founders of Terre, so I had the chance to take part to the initiative that happened in Saint-Laurent, Cluny. So I will start making an historical reference with some numbers. There was a picture of the Abbey of Cluny, but it seems it's not there anymore. Cluny monks were able to create farmlands everywhere in Europe with thousands of farms. What is Terre? So this association has two financial structures. It's a bit complex. In no French regions, we have associations, civil associations and farmers associations. 12,000 people joined a financial activity that invested up to 50 million now. These two So thanks to the contribution of these 2,000 shareholders that have shares that have a value between 100 and 10,000 euros, we were able to buy 135 farms. And thanks to their action, thanks to this foundation, La Foncière, as we call it, every month we can buy 1 or 2 farms. People come funding the Terre de Liens were coming from the social and solidarity economy. We heard about it before. Those people were working in the biodynamic and organic agriculture. in ethic, finance, and popular education. We had different backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, but we were sharing something. We we had seen that land was considered a good, the market good. There was speculation on soil every day, and we see land grabbing worldwide. So this was the first factor that joined us, that rallied us. Then we all realized that the land is damaged. And we had the intention to create a foundation operating for public good. But creating a foundation in France, it's very complex. So it took us 10 years to create it. So today we have this investment company with 12,000 shareholders, and we also have 4,000 donors that fund our operations every day. So right now we have a surface of 3,000 hectares, even more, over 135 farms, 20 are being acquired right now, and there's a human capital of around 200 farmers. The first issue we had to face for years was, who does the land belong to? The land is not a material good, it has a symbolic and spiritual value. It's the place that produces the food through which we gain forces to live our life. The land is a common good that feeds us. There cannot be a sustainable development or a sustainable activity if it's not linked to the land. And this is why we decided to create the Terra movement. And Terra is the first example in France that attracted the interest of different actors of civil society representing different movements that started to gain interest in the land. Up to now, our focus has largely been producing quality food, selling it to consumers, but in order to produce this food, we need land. So we have this issue: who does the land belongs to, and how can we preserve it in the long term? The land should be considered just like water and air, so it should be considered another common good that we should protect in order to guarantee the future of our kids. And there are studies showing that we have enough land available to feed the whole planet and the whole humanity. But this will be possible only if we will be able to change our agricultural practices, being more ecological and sustainable. From a practical point of view, what we do now is buying farms with different hectares available. The largest farm we have is 170 hectares. We do not really have specific criteria for choosing these farms. In the image you can see we are practicing animal traction, but this is not the rule. It depends from farm to farm. So we can ask ourselves, what's really new about Terra? We are creating a new social contract. It's an alliance in between farmers, consumers, citizens, solido, investors, and all the other forms of cooperation in the agricultural world. For every financial operation, there are three main questions. So how's the land managed when it's in the hand of the Terre des Liens? This is the first question. Because the investors lending us their money, they want to make sure, they hope, they want that this land is cultivated through the organic principles. The second question instead concerns how the farmers themselves, how do they are? If we buy beautiful farms, but the farmers cannot make a living of it and they are sad and they cannot work, we will not have reached our goal. The third question concerns the land, the region, its health status. So the single farm has an impact on the social net of the land, of the area. You can see a few images showing the many farms. The images you can see right now were the source of a heated debate. It was a very expensive land that we decided to buy anyway, so that it wouldn't be the place where a supermarket would be built. One of the features of our association, Terre des Liens, is the contract of loan of it consists in the fact that we visit, like in this case, lands we make an inventory, a list of all the plants, the trees, and all the elements, natural elements that are on this land. So we write all that, and on the base of this observation, we write the agreement for the social environmental loan to the farmers. And then, once every 2 or 3 years, we go to the farm, we see what are the positive developments of it, and if the farmers were able to make the land prosperous. Terre also are places where we experiment new things. In this place, we practice organic and biodynamic agriculture. But these are also places where citizens can learn once again to love and understand nature. This is the last slide showing a cow in between two trees with a quote from Bernard de Clairvaux that you certainly know. You will find in forest more than you will find in books. Trees and rocks will teach you some things that teachers cannot teach you. And to conclude, this is where we are represented in France. These small dots, red dots, look very big here. Actually, the farms are much smaller than they are, but we hope that these farms will be able to be an engine of change in France.
Grazie, noi siamo veramente molto affezionati a questo esempio.
Thank you. We really love this French example. This map is really warms our heart, and it's good to have an initiative that saves lands to put them in the hands of good agriculture. We need a good agriculture like biodynamic, good entrepreneurs, the sector of culture helping these companies to become potential drivers of social change.